Hey, welcome to the Movie Slackers, and welcome to the Movie Slacker Studios. I'm Robbie Rob. This is Pistol Pete McGillicuddy and Johnny Two Toes.
How you doing?
We just actually got out of the theater and saw Tomorrowland on IMAX. We're going to tell you a little bit about it, tell you what we think, and then tell you how many slacks we're going to give it, or how many stars.
Kick it off. Kick it off, boys.
I mean, for the most part, I liked it. Britt Robertson was the main female lead in it, and I thought she did an excellent job. George Clooney, I guess you would think he was in more of it than what he really was. But, I mean, he's actually, a pretty good piece, especially at the end. You don't see him but a couple little times there at the beginning. And there's another little girl that's, what's her name?
Rafe Cassidy.
Rafe Cassidy. She actually has a pretty sizable chunk.
I think Britt Robertson and Rafe are probably the two lead characters.
What you see the most of it. I'm like everybody else. I don't know if I probably liked about 2/3 of it. I mean, the ending kind of got a little bit weird for me and kind of just wasn't the best ending for me. But leading up to that, I mean, there was a lot of action. There was a lot of eye candy. I thought the storyline going to the very end was good.
Good, Sean.
What you guys think?
Yeah, it was really good.
It's your opinion.
Yeah,
go away with your opinion.
We saw that on the IMAX, like you said, and that's actually a really good venue to see it in. It's
we saw it on these small IMAX.
The CGI makes it a big spectacle on the screen. The sound, it came across really good, looked really good. The story was good. Let's see.
I mean, interrupt you, but it's actually going into it. I think coming out of it, you like it better than you did going into it, because I didn't think you were all that excited. Yeah, going into it. But.
Yeah, because of course, I heard a few things before you seen it, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot. I figured the graphics would be pretty decent, but yeah, watching it up on the IMAX, it looked really good. And like I said, the story's pretty good. You know, at the end, you're not maybe expecting what happens, but it's still pretty good from beginning to the end.
What'd you think about the actors? I mean, were you surprised about George Clooney? And he played a kind of a grumpy old man in it, kind of.
Yeah.
But actually, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen him in that role before. I mean, he's in it. I mean, he's a really. I mean, put everything aside, he's a pretty good actor.
Well, yeah,
but you don't usually see him in that type of role.
No,
I don't think I ever have, but I thought he was pretty good. So.
What was it? Was it Casey that played
Britt,
Rafe Cassidy.
Yeah, I mean, she was.
Yeah, I mean, she did a really good job.
I mean, I think
everybody did a pretty good job with it.
I don't know what she was in beforehand. I guess
she was actually.
I guess she was in some movies.
Well,
and
she's so young that she's been in a couple TV shows. Most notably, she was in. She played young Snow White in the first Snow White and the Huntsman.
Okay. And
she also played young. I forget what the name was in the movie Dark Shadows, the Johnny Depp movie. She played the young Eva Green character in that movie.
She's actually what you said was a lot. She's a lot older than what you think.
Yeah.
Well, that's Britt Robertson, who's a lot older. She's 29.
She's 29. Oh,
that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Britt Robertson is actually 29, but she's made to look like a 17-year-old high schooler. But
yeah, you would never think that.
But I didn't particularly care for the movie myself. I mean, it was visually it was stunning, but the story to me was clunky.
You didn't like the story at the beginning?
No, I didn't. I thought it was I thought it was a bunch of cornball. The acting, I thought Britt Robertson and Rafe Cassidy were actually very good, and they were the heart of the movie. But George Clooney came into me. He
wasn't in as much as you would think.
He was like a wet mop, though. He comes in there and just the whole thing, and then the final ending where they talk about if it just wasn't for people, imagine how great.
This may be a spoiler type of thing, but yeah, I mean it's a bunch of. To me, it was especially the ending. It was kind of a bunch of crap.
You gotta remember it's Disney.
Well, Disney's usually like upbeat and okay.
Well, a lot of it is.
And I got no problem. I got no problem with it. But it's like
I liked Hugh Laurie. I liked seeing him in the movie. I wish he had been in more of the film. But like I said, Britt Robertson is terrific. I really enjoyed her, and I enjoyed little Rafe Cassidy. I thought they were both excellent. I thought they had good chemistry together on screen.
You don't think George Clooney was grumpy enough?
It's not that. It just I don't know. He seems so boring. He seems so dull to me.
But
you know, he's supposedly some kind of inventor, and you know, he just came across as just sort of uninteresting.
Probably the little boy that in the beginning that played him was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot more life to him.
And I did recognize the, of course, Britt Robertson's family.
Tim McGraw.
Yeah. I mean, and the little boy that was her brother. I recognized him in a couple things, but I mean, you know.
I mean, it's not an awful film. I mean, I think a lot of families will like this movie because it's not a, you know, it's not an assault on all your senses with bad language and, you know, nudity. I mean, it's a Walt Disney film. It's
a good spectacle on the
It's
IMAX.
a spectacle to look at, but I mean, as far as the story, I thought the story was very, very uneven.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, teenage kids, 10, 9, 8, yeah, but if you're taking, I saw some families bringing maybe some little kids in there, and it's a spoiler alert. I mean, at the end though, you're seeing kind of the doomsday stuff though. I mean, it's not real graphic.
And they said that it was heavy-handed. The whole movie is heavy-handed. I mean, I thought the whole film was, not just the last 20 minutes, I thought the whole film was just
kind of
beating you over the head with, just how horrible people are. And man, if we could only just get rid of all the people, we could just have a nice utopia, and everyone would be, you know, for kicks and giggles, it'd be great.
It's kind of the negative thing, and I don't think Walt Disney meant to be.
Well, they're talking about
was meant to,
it was a subliminal thing though,
to Tomorrowland to be.
They're feeding subliminal negative images.
Yeah.
As part of the story, that you know, it's that's why everybody's supposedly kind of.
Tomorrowland was supposed to be a beat in future, and I don't know.
It wasn't awful.
It's worth seeing. I'd go for it.
I know my kids that they buy.
They liked it. They liked it.
Yeah, they really liked it.
Yeah, you had a.
And I got a 12 and a 15-year-old. So
and they both
really liked it. And I thought it was really good. But.
All right. Well, let's go. What's the slacks here, guys?
I mean, I would still overall. I'd probably give it best out of 5. 5 being the best. I mean, I'd still probably give it like a 3 7/4, just because of going up. I mean, for the 2/3 of it.
You got 7 quarters.
3 7/4. 3
I want $1.75.
3 3/4 or $1.380. Hey, it's like. Sean, what would you give it?
I give it 7 2/16.
Yeah, I give it a strong 4.
4?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, because if kids go, like I said, the visuals are great. The story's really not that bad. I mean, you got to pay attention to the whole thing.
To me, it's got kind of real doom and gloom at the end, and it's like I've seen all the crap, and it was a bunch of. I don't know, almost like let's give a political message or something.
Got a binky.
But okay. So
I would give it 2 3/4.
2 3/4.
Yeah, I thought the visuals were impressive, but everything else was kind of just, I don't know. It just didn't do much for me. But like I said, it's going to be good for the family. It's going to be good for the kids. The kids will love it. Thank you. I'm going to start throwing up in a second. No, it was okay. You know, I just, for that kind of money that they spent on it, I wish
they still kind of a go-see type thing.
I wish they would have worked on the story a little bit and made it a little bit more. I don't know, a little bit.
I wish they had a different ending, a different last quarter.
It's one of those you need to see and decide for yourself. I mean, it's worth watching and then making a decision and see the way you like it. But it's not a waste of time. It's definitely, like I said, spectacle to be seen, but best on the big screen, I would say.
But I mean, compared to Brad Bird's other films like The Incredibles and Ratatouille and Mission Impossible,
Ghost Protocol.
No, there wasn't.
Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
Those films are miles better than this. And those had great stories. They had great stories, they had fresh, interesting characters, and the whole film worked, everything worked as a whole. This is just sort of I don't know, it's kind of a average, a little bit above average maybe, for me anyway. But.
Sean, where can folks find us at?
Yeah.
YouTube, Movie Slackers channel, or movieslackers.com.
And on the YouTube Movie Slackers channel,
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Like and comment. This is a pop quiz.
Talk to us too.
Let's get to the first step.
Tell us.
Subscribe. Then we'll worry about step number 2, which is like. Then we'll go to step number 3, which is tell your friends to subscribe.
Comments.
Well, we appreciate you folks, and
very much so.
Yeah, and tell us what you think about Tomorrowland.
Yes. See ya.